The latest new innovation out of Rooster Sports and Dimond Bikes. So before we get into what it is, you can take a quick look at the product right here. This is an adapter for a Dimond bicycle to be ridden on a rear axle clamping stationary trainer. And so before we get into the actual product, I want to describe why you can't ride your existing stays and seat stays. Okay, when we take those components out, we have the seat stays missing on a Dimond. What happens is we clamp that rear axle, all of a sudden we get independent movement from where you're sitting and where you're pedaling. And those independent movements cause the beam to sway back and forth. And some bikes like the Cervelo P5X do not have an attachable beam, and so the extra stress kind of runs through the beam here. On a Dimond in particular, taking into account we have a removable beam, it puts a lot of extra stress through this pivot joint right here. And so it doesn't make it safe to ride. And if I was to jump on this bike right here, this is my bike, and I'll ride this on this stationary trainer real quick so you can kind of see what it looks like. But I'll just hop on here, and I'm not recommending that you do this yourself at home, but I'm just going to show what it looks like when I ride this. You can see the instability on the back of this wheel, and the harder that I ride when I'm on here, the more the beam is going to move side to side. And as I look over it, I can see the amount of beam move side to side as I look at the fixed wheel below me. But the harder that I ride, the worse that gets. So taking that into account, we designed this new product to basically act as seat stays for the bike. And once we can stabilize the seat, it then becomes safe to ride with the trainer. So let's take a look at the product. So straight out of the box, we get some bars, a couple connector pieces, and a little poly bag of some hardware. So the first thing that's important is we're going to use this piece. So this is a cool little accessory. It bolts to the back of the existing Dimond hardware on your seat post clamp. So what's important about that is we have a couple different styles. So my bike, because it's mine and I usually have a lot of the older stuff on my bike until it's necessary to upgrade. So my bike says 4 Newton meters, but it does not have a threaded hole there. And so you can see this one that I hold up right next to it, right here, looks identical, except it has a threaded hole right next to it, okay? So that's really important. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna take off that one right there, and I'm gonna put on this one with the... So I have that piece removed, and now I'm gonna stick this new piece on right back here. And before I get it tight, I want to make sure that when I'm doing this that I don't just do one side all the way tight and then do the other side. I'm going to take the longer bolt and this aluminum piece right here, and it's going to sit right on top of here, and it's going to go through this hole straight into there. Okay, so it wraps around the top and the bottom. Again, it uses a 4mm bolt head. And so you can leave that on your bike at all times if you want. It is aluminum, so it's fairly lightweight. But you see it's stable on there, it doesn't move or rotate, so it's just added to the back. Once I have that on, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually assemble these pieces. And the hard part is you got to remember the right orientation. So if I know this is one side of the leg, the attachment comes here. And so then I grab one of my 6 bolts that all look identical, and I'll just run them into here through the top, and they're threaded inserts on the back of this. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten these so it's still loose and slides up and down, because you'll need that height adjustment the first time you install this. Okay, so that's one side, this is the other side. Okay, once I have those 2 pieces on, the next thing that I want to do, and I make sure again, This is the orientation that it goes on the bike, so this is the orientation that you should have it in. The next thing I want to do is I want to take this little connector piece. It's pretty cool. It says Dimond on there in the middle. And then again, loosely connect this because you can make your final width adjustment once it's on there. But I'm going to take this over here to the bike, and we're going to start installing this on the bike. So the first part that I want to do is you'll notice that I have set my wrench here on top of my saddle. So I have this, these large hand tighten bolts, and so what I want to do is I want to run this through here. Okay, so I'm gonna take it through, slide one side on here, and then I'm just going to again leave this pretty loose so I can make final adjustments with this. But now you can start to see how it starts to take shape and forms seat stays on my bike. I'm going to drop it just below. I'm going to undo the skewer a little bit. I'm going to undo it most of the way, but I'm not going to take the end off of it, okay? So I want some clearance room. And then what I'm going to do is I need to adjust of these plates. And so we left those loose so I can slide them with my hands. And once I slide them into place, I'll lock it down. Okay, so I got one side in where it needs to go. And then I'll take it and I'll do it on the other side here. Okay, so I got to pick this side up a little bit. I need it to slide. Push this out. Again, this is just a one-time adjustment that you need to do. So you won't actually need to do this every time you get on your bike. The first setup takes a little bit of time to make sure it's exactly right for your saddle height as well as your size of frame. So once those are down, I'm going to go ahead and tighten the skewer. Okay, and to avoid any clearance issues, I want to tighten this skewer so it's in a position that doesn't interfere with the frame but still allows me to unclamp it. I'm going to go ahead and tighten it like that. So now I have those locked into place. It's pretty solid. I'm going to go ahead and put the bike back into the trainer. Now I want to go ahead and adjust the rest of my tightening screws. So you can see I'm a little off-centered with the stabilizing bar in the middle. So I'm going to loosen those a tiny bit. Okay, so I got that nice and tight now. Next thing I'm going to tighten is I'm going to tighten these. The last thing that I'm going to tighten on here is going to be these pieces right here. Okay, and just hand tighten those. So now that I have that, you can see I got a really solid piece. Ride my Dimond on the trainer to keep my seat and my beams from swaying side to side. So once you have this trainer adapter on your Dimond, you can leave it on all the time, leave it on your trainer for the winter, however long you need. It's also really easy to take on and off. You don't have to adjust any of these things anymore. These just use hand bolts, so it becomes easy to tighten or loosen these as needed to pop them off. I can take these off, take my skewer out just like I normally would. I can take my whole bike out of the trainer now. This whole piece can be removed. I would simply take out the trainer axle or ride on the trainer axle with it tightened properly, or you can put in your regular road axle, whatever you prefer. And now your Dimond's ready to ride outside, and you have this piece next to your trainer, so whenever you're ready to ride on your trainer again, you can quickly and easily install that on your Dimond for indoor riding. So there we have it, our new Dimond Trainer Adapter. Hope this video was helpful for you and answered some questions on how to use it and why you should use it.